That's we're a little bit late, but that's all right because we're going to keep going with the thing. Anyway, you are watching Just Talking with Jonathan Lewis, your main man, and I'm glad you could join us this evening. Hopefully you guys stuck around. We had a little bit of technical difficulties, so we had a late start, but it's all good. Let me introduce the main man in the back there, Mr. Dudley. Mr. Dudley, how you doing this evening? Doing good. Been a good week so far, man? Yeah? Been pretty chill? Been a pretty productive week? Get some things done? Yeah? Yeah? That's what's up, man. Good deal. You know, somehow my Facebook is up, which my boss would probably be kind of pissed off at that. But I had to bring my notes up real quick. You know, I think we got us a pretty good little show this week. We got some pretty interesting things to talk about. And a couple of those things actually just came up today. So I'm glad you guys are watching. And don't forget, throughout the show, you can talk with us on YouTube Live. So make sure that you guys are down there, you know, type in, and we're going to try to get back to you. If we don't get back to you during the show for some reason, then we'll respond after the show for sure. But make sure you guys are hitting that like, subscribe, and the bell. Make sure you know when the show does start, because it'll tell you. Then that way you know what's up. I'm going to go ahead and get this thing rolling. What you think, Mr. Dudley? Yeah? Getting that promo stuff. You guys make sure that you are liking and sharing for us, too, because even though we start late, we still talk about some stuff that's worth listening to. And every now and again, we might say something that actually sounds a little bit smart. Probably Mr. Dudley will anyway. I'm usually pretty good for saying whatever, you know. I mean, hey, it is what it is. And I do my best. So anyway, so check this out. First thing that piqued my interest this week, man, I thought this was kind of crazy. So not that long ago, I got a letter in the mail for jury duty, right? And so what ended up happening was I had to call and tell them that I can't do jury duty, because in case you didn't know, I do have a felony on my record for a couple of DUIs that I got last year and the year prior. It was stupid mistakes, you know, lessons learned and all that, and I'm working on getting that whole thing cleared up. But I had to call them and tell them that I couldn't do jury duty, which sucks for me because I've always wanted to do jury duty. I'm not really sure why. I just always had this interest in wanting to be a part of something like that. So that sucked. But the story that I'm going to tell you about is about this kid who was 21. I'm sure you've probably heard about it by now. This 21-year-old guy, I'm not going to give his name or anything like that. He was sentenced to 10 days in jail for missing jury duty. And he actually didn't even miss the jury duty, if I'm not mistaken. He was just late. And I believe that they found him in contempt of court is what it was. They sentenced him to 10 days in jail, 150 days community service. And he had to write, I think it was 1,000-word apology and explanation to why he missed jury duty or was late to it. Yeah. And by the time they decided that, you know, that's kind of harsh, we're not going to give him all that. He had already served 10 days in jail. He went in there as with no criminal record, none. And he walked out of there a criminal. How does that work? And don't get me wrong, I understand this process and all this stuff, but like, wow, really? Like that? Like this kid's got that on his record now. And whatever, if it's a misdemeanor and all that, I'm not even sure exactly how they're classifying any of that. You know, maybe you guys can drop something down there in links, let me know, or in the comments and let me know, because I don't really know how that aspect of it pertains. But what I do know is that it's still messed up. He served 10 days in jail over something. 21-year-old kid, man. He probably really doesn't even understand. I call him a 21-year-old kid. He's a grown man. He's grown enough to go to jail, grown enough to go to war, and grown enough to buy a six-pack. So, but nonetheless, most people that young, I don't think really know about what's going on with jury duty. So I think it's kind of crazy. They could have cut him a little bit of slack that day. But I think that I feel like maybe the judge was just really harsh. Maybe they were having a bad day. And people tend to forget that they're humans. And as much as they're not supposed to be one way or another, they're going to be whatever their feelings are that day. Fact of the matter, you can't eliminate human from human. Just how it goes. So anyway, I thought that was pretty crazy, man. And I was like, I was pretty struck by that. And it made me stop and wonder what's going on with the whole system. Because it's not right. You know what I mean? I'm assuming we're on camera A. Okay. All right. So I'm having camera B? Or camera C on me? No? Good to go? Okay. Oh, we're on camera C. Hey! I was looking at the right one. What's good, baby? Holla at me. Let me know what's up. You know, you can even shoot me a message on Facebook if you got me on Facebook. And I'm going to talk to you during the show. That'll be cool. I'm with it. I'm going to move on. So check this out. You want to throw this graphic up there. Jeff Hardy That's going to be the Jay Hardy graphic. Jeff Hardy, WWE wrestler Jeff Hardy, has got his second DUI. Okay, this is in Moore County, North Carolina. His first DUI had an accident involved with it, and when that picture's up, just let me know. Because that picture, man, tell me that's not the biggest smile you've ever seen on somebody who just got arrested for their second DUI. Ever. That was, wow. That guy's going to change. You can see it. He's regretful, remorseful, man. It's all over. It's all over his face. His family members at this point are actually, they're of course publicly like disapproving of his actions, and they're actually saying, you know, we have to move on with our own situations. He's going to live the life that he's choosing to live, and they can't really attach themselves to it like that anymore. Which, that's real. I mean, I can understand it because I was in that position. And you know, and my family wasn't disowning me or anything like that by any means. They were there to support me through my situation, and but for myself, it weighed on me. You know what I'm saying? That weighed on me, like what I was creating as my reality. I couldn't continue to do it. So when I sat those couple days in jail, because both times I got a DUI happened to be on holiday weekends, so I got to sit the extra day. Not sure how that worked out. Oh, literally it was actually, both of them were last year. It was February for one and November for the other, and both of them were holiday weekends. What are the odds of that? Not really. You know, anybody's been to jail, even just for a little bit, they know that jail sucks. Yeah. Tell me about your jail experience. Go ahead and drop that down there in the thread. I want to know what you got. Because, you know what? Surprisingly, the one thing that I had... Oh, I'm all messing my mic up over here. Did you hear it? No? Okay, well, they probably heard it. The one thing about jail that didn't bother me, and people are going to be like, what? The food. I actually am okay with that food. I was like, it's like school food. You know what I mean? It's like school food. Huh. Oh, look at that guy. He's shiny. It's all good. I ain't even tripping about it. So yeah, that's what that was. And that image, yeah, that was a nice image. He had a big old smile on his face. He just WWE superstar, man. All day, every day. Here's something. And I've got a couple details on this, really, that I've got. So I'm going to do a couple little back and forth here. The first thing that we're just going to go ahead and bring it up. Actually, you know, I think I might save that one for later because that's a little bit more serious of a topic. Okay, let's move on. So, now former. Oh, check this out. This is crazy. The former mayor of Atlantic City is facing 20 years for one single federal corruption charge. He admitted to stealing $87,000 from a youth basketball group that he started. He started the group for the youth team, and then he got him for 87 stacks. Crazy. The crazy thing about this situation, though, is really you kind of expect it when you hear about some of the other things the guy's done, because like the dude apparently has been in fights in front of the casinos there and all kinds of stuff. Yeah, he was the former mayor, so I mean that's pretty crazy. Because if that's what he's repping the city like, man, it makes you wonder what he probably got away with a lot more stuff. Is that wrong of me to say that and make that accusation? I mean, the dude stole 87 stacks from a bunch of kids, been in a fight in front of the casinos. Here's the one that topped it for me. Right after he was elected, do you know the first thing he did as mayor of Atlantic City? He submitted the paperwork for approval for a raise of $37,000 to make his total pay $150,000 a year. He did that right after. Yeah, this is in 2017 when he was elected. He went straight for, as soon as he got in, boom, all of that House of Cards kind of stuff. You know, so like, bruh. I don't understand it, man. Yeah, that's all. They're looking for number one, man. You got to be careful these days. And I'm not to say everybody, but it's hard to tell a lot, you know, because there's so much corruption and there's so much everything that we teach our kids not to be these days, like that we were taught not to be and do. There's so much more of it today that it almost makes you stop and wonder, can you really trust most people these days? Most people are going to be like, no, of course not, of course not. But yet, you know, we still function amongst people. We still have to have some degree of trust. You know what I mean? And it just makes you wonder how much these days you really can trust and how much you can be like, oh yeah, you know, we all have public face, and that's what trips me out, because my public face is pretty much the same. I mean, yeah, I'm going to be a little bit more polite, you know, and I think we're all like that. And there's going to be people, oh, I'm the same no matter what. Da, 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 da. Everybody's cordial until you're not cordial. Like, that's just how it goes. Unless you're that person, and if you're that person, it's probably likely you're not really around many people that you need to be worried about being cordial with anyway, because you've developed that personality from something. So, anyway, I'm going to go ahead and move on. Actually, you know what? I am going to yap for another minute, and then we're going to go ahead and take that break that we're coming up on. Yeah, we're going to take a break already. We started a few minutes late. So what? We're still going to take a break. We've got to stay on schedule for the rest of the schedule, because it's the schedule. You know what I'm saying? Hit the like, subscribe button, and then share on Facebook. Don't go anywhere, though, because we're going to be right back in just a minute.
Come be a part of the Robert Brown Agency family and let us prove why choosing the right insurance agency is important too.
Hi, this is Robert with Farmers Insurance and the Robert Brown Agency. Come in today and see why the Robert Brown Agency is your best choice.
Your small business is ready for the next level of marketing. Having the right tools in hand can help catapult your business into the place it deserves to be. From custom commercials that are ready for broadcast to the professional voiceover that you need for your business phone recording or radio commercial, we build it all in-house. Sign up with us today and see how all of our plans offer exactly the tools that you need. And more importantly, they don't break the budget you set for marketing. Call and visit us online at lookandlawton.com today. Let's get your business to the next level. lookandlawton.com.
We're back already. Told you it was just going to be a minute. Promised you. We got this thing timed pretty good, don't we, Mr. Deli? Boom! That's what I'm saying, baby. 7 P's, man. 7 P's. People are like, well, 7 P's, you started late. Technical difficulties don't count. I don't care what you think. They don't. They don't count. Do they? Well, they count minutes. Somebody's going to say that. There's always something sarcastic to everything, you know that? And I'm realizing more and more that, especially as my kids get older, I'm realizing there's sarcasm for everything. 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 They don't miss a beat. They don't, ever. So, real quick, I want to mention, let's throw that graphic up there for the tournament. The GK, can't remember what it is. Yeah. This is a tournament coming up for our local area here in Lawton. And it's for everybody, so you can register there, register online, and then I'll drop the links in the video tonight afterwards. And then you guys can register for this tournament coming up. All the proceeds for the tournament, all the proceeds, 100%, go towards the Big Brothers and Big Sisters Foundation. Yeah, and this is sponsored by the sponsors that are on the graphic. I don't know, is the graphic still up or? Okay, so the sponsors are down there, JPO Productions, that's one of those, but the prime sponsors, I believe, are Game King, who's holding the tournament, and they're holding it in conjunction with All Things Entertaining. And Buffalo Grove is going to be doing some catering for it. So you guys make sure that you sign up, get your kids signed up, because this is a Smash Brothers Ultimate tournament, man. You don't want to miss this. There's prizes that they're going to get. There's going to be all kinds of cool stuff going on. Make sure you guys don't miss it. Sign up. It's $10 for singles, $20 for doubles, and I think that's going to be a good look, man. And I know our city's pretty good for putting on when it comes to charities, man. We're pretty good for getting out there and doing some things. Let's go ahead and move on. You guys make sure you check that out. Those links will be in the thread or in the details after the video. Or after the video, after we're finished airing. So, moving on. We got a couple things coming out of Dallas. Okay. Now the first one I'm going to talk about is a little less serious than the others, but this one here though, it's big news. It's big news for anybody who's into Dragon Ball Z, because I love Dragon Ball Z. In case you didn't know, you're like, what? Okay, so let me tell you. Here's what it is. Vic Mignogna, I think that's how you pronounce his last name. I'm not sure. He had a case that was dismissed, unfortunately for him. But he had a case going on involving Funimation, which is the company that he works for, because he's the voice character for the character Broly, which, if anybody knows me in Dragon Ball Z, they know that's my favorite character of all people. Which is kind of crazy, because I don't know if he was the initial voice character for the old movies, but if he was, it really kind of sucks, because now he's not going to do them anymore. They better let him go. And they had to let him go because apparently he had a claim that that 3 people, 2 employees, I guess other voice characters from Funimation, and one of their wives were like defaming his character. So he put this whole lawsuit, and then it ended up getting dismissed. I don't know much more of the details. I got to looking it up and trying to research, and they didn't really go too much into what they were saying as far as the defamations and all that were. But nonetheless, sorry for it. But it sucks because now we don't get to hear him say Kakarot! You know, you got to be a DDD fan. If you're not into that, you probably just were like, what is he talking about? Whatever. We're gonna move on. Next. Okay, so here's the more serious one. Joshua Brown. You know who Joshua Brown is, right? He's the witness from the Amber Geiger case. Was a witness, right? And I say that with all respect. He was murdered. They found him murdered I'm not sure if it was at his apartment, because the articles I kept finding kept saying at apartments. I'm not sure if they found him at his apartment or not, but they found him dead, and I believe it was. Well, I'm not really sure on all that, so I'll wait and say that later on. But they found him dead, and then they supposedly said they found the people who shot him. Not found him. 2 of the people got away. They have 3 suspects. One is an uncle to another, and let me go ahead and see if I got their names on here. I can't remember if I wrote them down. No, I didn't write the names down, because I'm usually not really caring about writing people's names like that, about shit like that, because, you know, the whole thing with me is like, there's certain kind of light that you deserve that attention, and there's certain kind of light that I'm not about to give it to you, because it's just, to me, there's certain boundaries I'm not going to cross when it comes to my respect towards a situation or person involved in a particular type of situation, perhaps, or even the situation itself. So anyway, so Amber Geiger, is the police officer who killed both of Gene, who was in his apartment, 26-year-old male in his apartment eating ice cream on the couch. She apparently came in, shoots him in his own apartment, kills him. When they find her guilty, they only give her 10 years. There's a couple things we're going to talk about with this. Joshua Brown, who's the main witness, if I'm not mistaken, he was one of the main witnesses. He was found dead 3 days after she was found guilty. And they said that 3 men traveled 4 hours for a marijuana buy, and it went south, and he ended up dead at the end. Now, the report that I read said that one of the suspects was in critical condition at a hospital. That's only one of the reports that I read, though. I'm not sure if there's more beyond that, but that's what I read. The other 2, they say they got away. They haven't found them. To me, I listened to this whole story, bro, and I'm like, sounds like a crock of shit. Sounds like a crock of shit. It does. And here's why I say so. Or here's why I think so. I'm not going to say so like that's what it is, because I'm not about to do that. But given the details that I don't have versus the ones that I do, which is the same thing everybody else has got, I think we're all kind of coming to the same conclusion. 1, it's a crock of shit. 2, it just doesn't make any sense. Why would anybody travel that far for marijuana, especially when they're traveling through states that I'm pretty sure that it's... And I have Mike, and we are back. We're having some technical difficulties, if you can't tell. It's okay. We'll get it all figured out. And then we're going to have an awesome show. But I'm not sure where we left off at, though. I'm not sure what point it cut out. So I'm going to go ahead and just start all over from the beginning. You guys ready? You get a whole hour of me again. Yeah, buddy. No, I'm just playing. We're not going to do that. We're going to keep going where we're at. We only got about 15 minutes or so left, so I'll start wrapping it up pretty soon. I was talking about Joshua Brown, the witness in the Amber Geiger case. I was saying how he was such a good drug dealer that they were trying to make him out to be, like, you know, because that's what supposedly how he ended up dead was over this whole drug deal gone south. It doesn't make any sense. Like, they're trying to say that you know, these people traveled 4 hours, came to kill him, or came to buy drugs and went south. Right. He is such a good drug dealer that the police officer who lived directly downstairs from him had no idea that he lived upstairs and was doing all of these drugs, selling all these drugs. And he did such a good job that she killed the guy across the hall. He was such a good drug dealer that she had no clue, and the guy across the hall had to die. It just doesn't make sense. Sounds like crock shit. Dallas police, you guys are full of shit. And I think honestly it's just a matter of time before somebody puts that bullshit to rest. And don't come for me. Too many people over here for me. Just playing. Don't fuck with me though. I'm not playing. Moving on. So anyway, Mr. Deli, what do you think about that? Ain't that some shit? You know what else is crazy? Did you know the girl didn't end up dead, but there was another girl that was a witness. She recorded on video Amber Geiger pacing back and forth. After she shot him, she's on the radio with them. This girl got video of her outside the apartment. Do you know? Now, mind you, the girl was on the floor that she was supposed to be on, and she could see her right there at the steps above. So she just, you know, she's getting it on video. Did you know that the girl got fired out of retaliation for her being a witness in the testimony, or giving the testimony, being a witness in the trial? Yep, they sure did. Yeah, they did. They fired her. I can't remember what they said that the reason was, but they fired her over that because she got fired right after. And honestly, I think anybody involved in that shit at all, you should really genuinely be concerned for your safety, because obviously they're trying to kill all of you, and I think that that's apparent. So you guys need to be careful. Yeah, I'll say that shit, and I'm not afraid to say that shit. Y'all need to be watching your back, because anything suspicious is probably somebody who set out to kill you. Because you put one of theirs in there, and I'm just saying, I ain't saying all the police is bad, but what I am saying is, let's not pretend like we didn't just go through this shit because, or that people were going through this shit because an officer kicked in the door randomly and shot a guy on his couch for no reason. I'm going to move on a little bit because we only got a few minutes left. Let's go ahead and run this video. Oh, the video I couldn't even get the video. I was trying to get this video. I'm going to talk about it though. Okay, so there's this video that I watched, and it's of these vegans that are trying to protest meat eaters doing what meat eaters do, which is eat meat. They're standing outside of this restaurant, and they're like bunched together in front of the door. I don't know, I think it's a fast food place, some burger joint. I'm not sure which one though. So this guy, he's a bigger guy, you know, he's standing there, and he's trying to tell them, like, move out of the way pretty much so I can get in here. You know what I mean? Because you're thinking you're going to stop me from getting in here, and I'm going to get in here. So he proceeds to bogart through these people. Now, mind you, they're bunched together in front of this place. He doesn't know a single one of them. He bogarts through them and pushes his way. Now, as he's pushing through, one of these guys grabs his arm and is trying to yank him back. Here's the reason I want to talk about this. He proceeded to spaz out a little bit afterwards and tell him, you don't want a piece of me, da-da-da-da-da. And I get it, yeah, I'm with that. Here's what the concern is that for me is that why is it that people feel like it's okay, so much so to press your ideas on somebody else and your beliefs and your feelings, that you think you can actually touch another person? What if he would have mashed the dude who grabbed hold of his own? Because this dude didn't just like grab him a little bit. He grabbed both hands and was yanking him back out of the building. And finally he got his hand off and he stopped and he was like, da-da-da-da-da. At what point is it okay to say, you're no longer protesting, and now what you're doing is crossing my boundaries for my safety? Yep, I'm gonna let you out. If you touch me during your protest, I'm going to lay you out because I have every right to defend myself. And you're not allowed to press your beliefs on me so much that you think that you can physically contact me. Or anybody else for that matter. I'm not cool with that. Not cool in the least bit. And too many people these days are becoming so comfortable thinking that their feelings justify the actions of doing these things. And that's where we're failing today, I think, as the majority, as the whole of people. We're forgetting that we are not entitled to force what we think on someone else. Even worse is that a lot of people don't even realize that we're all pretty much, this is my personal belief to this anyway, we're all the same being. And what we are doing is we're different beings, or different manifestations of the being experiencing itself. So, in the end, if I'm causing harm to somebody, or I'm doing something to them that's not right in any kind of way, I'm really doing it to myself in essence. In essence, my belief. Let me know your thoughts on that. I'm open to whatever discussion you got. But as far as that whole thing with the video goes, don't touch me during your protest. Mr. Dudley, what do you think? Lay him out cold? No, I'm just playing. Don't condone violence unless you have to defend yourself. That's the only time I'm going to condone violence, is if you got to defend yourself. That's it. And when he started spazzing on that dude, he's all, blah, 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 and right as he's really about to start laying into that guy, somebody in the background, go get your damn burger, shut up. And he just stopped and turned around and went and got his burger. I'm bro, he's just like he realized, oh shit, yeah, okay, yeah, that's over with now. Because all he had to do was get past the barricade of humans at the door, which is ignorant as hell. Ignorant as hell. Anyway, so we'll move on from that. Don't touch me during your protest. You're likely to get beat up. Here's something that I don't understand. I get people wanting to be accepted and all that. But there's certain boundaries I'm never going to cross with my being okay with this. You know, you got lesbians, gays, trans, all these different things. But now you have what they're calling MAPs, which are, they're referring to themselves as minor attracted persons. And they're calling themselves this in an attempt to be more accepted into the LGBTQ, whatever other letters, community. So I think about this and I'm like, one, this must be a whole different generation of people, because that's never been okay to my understanding. Two, if it is okay to some people, this must be a lot of people, because there's a whole group of them that's saying that this is who we are. Accept us. Nah, man. And don't let me find out one of y'all trying to be no predator towards my kid, because I will tear you to shreds and you will never see a day in court. I'm just saying, that's how that will go. I'm not even playing with mine. Don't think so, bruh. Don't even cross that. Don't think so, homegirl. I don't give a fuck what your gender is. I don't give a fuck what your sex is. None of that. Maps, you're going to have to go somewhere else on the map for that shit, because I'm not accepting it where I'm at. I'm not going to go searching for you motherfuckers, but if you come out and you say, hey, I'm into kids, I'm going to mash you out if you come around mine. I'm telling you that right now. Go live your life happy where you want to be. Just don't be around my children, because if you're telling me you're attracted to children in that way, you're also telling me that you're willing to take advantage of a child that doesn't understand what you're putting them through in any regards to that aspect of life. And if you really were not just perversely or pervertedly, however, whichever word it is, attracted to them, then you would understand that. Exactly. And Mr. Dudley said it for me, because he already knows the deal too, because that's really what it is. Like, you have to make that decision to be that person. You know what I'm saying? Just like in alcoholic drinks. You have to choose. You have to keep making that choice to be that and live that life. Anyway, we're going to move on from that one. Matt Lauer. He's a former co-anchor on... Why am I blank to that? Anyway, where am I at on my script here? Not a script, but oh, anyway, we'll move on from that, because I don't really care about that anyway. I mean, I do, because it's messed up, but real quick, Brooke Neville's his co-anchor on the show that they co-anchored. I don't even remember which one it was. Anyway, a couple years ago, she accused him of rape, or accused him of sexual misconduct, inappropriate sexual conduct. And the day after it happened, she went and reported it to their higher-ups, and he was immediately terminated. Now a book is coming out. I don't remember whose book, because I deliberately put a question mark and said whose book, because I didn't really care to remember. But this girl came back 2 years after the accusation and him being fired, and now she's saying that it's rape. In this other person's book, she's saying that he raped her. He's of course denying it. And here's the crazy part, is that she admitted, even in the book, that after the accusation of the inappropriate sexual conduct that got him fired, that on other occasions they still had physical interactions with each other. I don't, and if I knew one like that, I would leave that motherfucker alone, because I don't play that shit. That flip-flop shit don't make no damn sense to me. Like, for real, man, like, there's too much of this shit going on today, man, is that too many people are, oh my gosh, I feel this right now, and then, like, later they're like, well, I don't feel that anymore, and how dare you? Like, flip-flopping ass people, man, y'all could not be gangbangers, I'm just saying. You can't. You be pulling some Lil Wayne type shit. You know what I'm saying? For real, bro. Like, and you just can't do it, bro. Like, you know, speaking of 6ix9ine, he just signed a record deal for $10 million in jail. When he gets out with the same people he was with, 10K production, $10,000 production. I think it was 10K Productions is what it was. For $10 million, man. So when he gets out, he's doing 2 albums. That's what he's promised to him. It's 2 albums, one in English and one in Spanish. $10 million. $10 million for 2 albums. What? And you know they're going to sell, because he can't record until he gets out. When he gets out, he's going to be all over the news all over again. You know, the way things go today, he'll probably have a whole studio in there. You know, telling cats be having cell phones. You know, I've been seeing these pictures sometimes circulate to the internet, cats in prison cells. They be having TVs and video games. I'm like, what happened to prison, bro? Yep. So, check this out. We only got 4 minutes left. Why didn't you tell me? We do. Where's this image at? Oh, this one. Yep, Georgia. Go ahead and show that image real quick. Boom. This is in Georgia. This is the northern snakeland. Northern snakehead fish. It's a fish. And it's in their local waters there now. That's the first time it's ever been found there. And they're saying if they find it, they're telling fishermen there, kill it immediately, because it's an invasive fish, so it's going to take over the waters they have there and kill other fish that are native to the water. The thing about this fish that's crazy, that they're saying you really need to kill it for, is because this fish breathes in water, but it also breathes air. I never heard of a fish in my life that breathes air, and this fish breathes air. It can survive on land, and it can survive in the water. You see that fish? Do you guys see that fish? They get up to 3 feet in length. That's about the length of this part of my desk that's in front of me here almost. That's crazy. Craziness. Yeah, if you see that fish, you kill that bastard. And you don't let that some bitch go nowhere. You should see their mouth. I wish I had a picture of their teeth. They got like piranha teeth. Yeah, they got piranha teeth at that. They don't even have regular people, or not people teeth, but regular, fish teeth, I guess, because, they got teeth, some of them. They got piranha type teeth, man. It looks crazy. And they're 3 feet in length, and they're very aggressive and shit like that. So that's nuts. Yeah, that's crazy. So here's something. Now, I believe I recall hearing about this a while back, and I believe that they called it Apophis. That was what the name of this asteroid was, if I'm not mistaken. If it's the same one, could be a different one, but the reason I think it's the same one is because these are the characteristics they told us to wait for it, or that it would show. They're calling it asteroid 52768. That's what it's numbered. And it is near, it's going to be a near hit with the Earth next year. Near hit. You're talking about within 31,320 kilometers. No, that's not right. No, I believe I don't recall. You can look it up. But from the center of the Earth out, it's not very much farther than the moon, I don't believe. In fact, if I'm not mistaken, if it's the same one, it's actually supposed to pass between the Earth and the moon. Could be wrong. Look that up to make sure. Look that up to make sure. But what I do know is that they're saying it's on April 29th next year is when we'll see it. We will be able to see it, and we might even be able to see it in the sky traveling. Yeah. It's traveling at 31,320 kilometers per hour. It's traveling fast enough that, and the size of it, mind you, is, I think they said 4 kilometers wide. So if it hits, they're expecting it to pass Earth very closely, but if it gets to a certain spot, a particular area, it will get caught in the Earth's gravitational field, and it will actually then change its trajectory to circle the Earth for a couple of years, if I'm not mistaken, before it comes plummeting into the Earth, and for which they're saying that if that happens, that is something that will be catastrophic and on the level of what killed the dinosaurs and all that, started the Ice Age. That's next year. You know what? We're down to the last minute. I want to say thank you guys for watching this evening and for joining us. If you did, if you didn't, that's cool. Join us next time because we're going to be every Thursday at 11 ish. 11. Come back at 11. We'll be here. I want you guys to make sure to remember to hit like and subscribe and hit the bell so you know when we're on, and then you guys can share and all that good stuff. Do that for me. Holla at your boy. Let me know what it is, and then you know, I want you guys to participate. And before we go, though, I do want to say this week left me with one thought that I would really like to tell everybody, and that is that it's important for us to remember humans are going to be humans. And we're going to do some foul things, but in order for us to be different, we have to want to be different. And I don't mean be different like, oh, I'm going to stand out, I'm going to be the good guy, da, da, da. I mean like be different, like we have to change what we've known to be as humans and evolve into something different. It doesn't mean we need to change our body in evolution. It means that we need to change our being. We need to start looking at things from a different perspective than what we're familiar with. The idea of running around and acting as if we don't care about anything because whatever, we live one time. We can't continue that, or we're going to see this entire life that we all know and want and think that we cherish. We're going to see it turn into something very ugly far faster than I think any of us are really ready to be or prepared to handle. So tomorrow when you wake up, tonight when you go to bed thinking that tomorrow you're going to be something different. That it doesn't have to be like it was. You don't have to carry yesterday's drama. You don't have to continue this stuff with the people from before that you had. And yes, you're allowed to change your life, regardless of what people think. And not caring is not the same thing as caring, but making different decisions. So, thank you guys for watching. Make sure, like I said, you hit that subscribe button. And join us next week. We'll see you then. Mr. W, do you mind playing with tape? All right. Appreciate it. Thank you guys.